Good day. I made a previous video on uh, a blackout, a vision that I saw of blackouts in the United States. And then I said that I was going to do a separate video on reading prophecies that God gave me back in 2021 of Kansas City. So I'm just going to read them to you because Kansas City in Missouri has been earmarked by God for the Great Awakening. The third Great Awakening is coming to the church, and God is going to do a new thing in the earth. And Kansas City has been earmarked. There were prophets that they were called the Kansas City prophets. Bob Jones was one of them. You had Paul Cain, John Paul Jackson. Apparently those three were all buried on the same day. Although they passed away separate years apart from each other, they were all buried on the same day. If I'm not mistaken, it was the 22nd of February. So it's 2202 where they were all buried. Dr. Bill Heyman also came out of Kansas City. James Gold, I think, is as well. So Kansas City is a city in the United States that's been earmarked by God. And I was caught up in the spirit, and so I'm going to read it to you now. In a vision, I saw an aerial view of the United States of America from the top looking down. It was covered with a white sheet. So it was a white sheet. I saw a pure white sheet covering the United States. I saw a huge shepherd dressed in pure white with a staff in his hand, standing in Central America. He took the point of his staff and placed it down on a city in Central America. It was Kansas City. I asked the shepherd, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" He said to me, "I am the great shepherd of the sheep. I've chosen Central America and Kansas City to restore a broken and wounded America." And then he said to me, "I've come to make America great again." Sorry, President Trump, to burst your bubble, but you cannot make America great again. Only God can make America great again. But God has raised you up as his servant in this hour to make America great again. So you're carrying out the word of the Lord to make America great again. But God is going to make America great again. The great shepherd departed, and I saw a huge white eagle circling America. This was a bald eagle, huge white eagle circling America. It was circling clockwise. This eagle swooped down and landed in Central America and grabbed Kansas City in its claws. Grabbed hold of Kansas City. With one claw, it took meat out of its beak and began to feed the people. When you're a prophet, you see some strange stuff. So this big white eagle lands with his claws in Kansas City, and he begins to feed the people. Then God said to me, "This eagle represents my servants, the prophets and apostles, whom I've chosen as my vessels to usher in my glory in America. An abiding glory is coming to the Church of Jesus Christ. It's as if you're going to live in the cloud permanently, in the cloud of glory. An abiding glory is coming to the United States of America, and Kansas City has been earmarked by God in Central America, in the heart of America, for the third Great Awakening." Let me go on. "I have torn, but I will also heal. I have broken, but I restore the ancient ruins." God is going to restore the ancient ruins. He said, "I have not forgotten America. America will become a beacon of my light to the nations of the world." God has earmarked America to become a beacon of his light to the nations of the world. "As your shepherd, I will once again pick America up like a little lamb and hold her in my arms close to my heart. My goodness. The favor of God upon America, the great shepherd, is not going to abandon America. You're going to go through judgment now. But God has not forgotten you. He will not abandon you. The great shepherd is going to pick you up like a little lamb. He's going to hold you close to his heart so that your heart can be synchronized with his heart, so that you can carry the divine plan and the divine purposes of God to the nations of the world. God has earmarked you to be his light to the world. But first, America must weep for what she has done. She must grieve and mourn and cry for her iniquities and for renouncing me, the great shepherd, and turning her back on me, says God. Many have forsaken God in America, but God has not forgotten America. Then I heard, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and forgive their sin and will heal their land. God is going to heal you, America. He has torn you, but he will heal. Prophet is weeping now. In a vision, I saw a green tree planted geographically where Kansas City is in Central America. Its leaves were green and it had ripe fruit on it. The leaves of this tree are for the healing of the nations. Amazing. Revelation 22 verse 2. It's talking about Bob Jones and the prophets buried on 22:02. The leaves of the trees are for the healing of the nations. Scriptures, sorrow endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning. America, you will not be in sorrow forever. Joy will come in the morning because the sun will rise upon you. Come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us to pieces, but he will heal us. He has injured us, but he will bind up our wounds. Hosea 6 verse 1. And then God gave me another prophecy for Kansas City. This one was on the 13th of January. The one I've just read to you was the 15th of January. So this one actually comes first. The flames of my Holy Spirit will burn in Kansas City, ushering in a new era of my wonder-working power in the earth. For I am about to do a new thing, says God, something that I've never ever done before in the earth. I'm not going to resurrect an old thing. I'm not going to breathe my life into a former revival. I spoke about that in my previous video. Behold, I make all things new. I'm about to pour out my new wine into those whose hearts have been renewed. God will only put new wine into a new wineskin. When your heart is renewed, he's going to pour in that wine. Those whose hearts have been made ready, those who listened when I spoke to renew their wineskin. You've got to let go of the old to embrace the new. For you, Kansas City, have looked at other cities having revivals and outpourings of my Holy Spirit, and you've said, it's missed us and it's gone to them first. When God has promised it to us, the prophets have prophesied and prophesied and prophesied about Kansas City. But your time is coming. It's coming. God has passed over us and given it to them. You've seen revivals taking place all around America and in other regions, but it hasn't come. It's as if Kansas City is barren. It's as if the word of the Lord's not going to come, but believe me, it's going to come. God says, no, I have not forgotten my promises to Kansas City. I will not pass you by. I will do what I have promised. I will work my wonders in your midst that will cause my people to flock to your city from around the world to see my display of power. God is going to move with such power, signs, wonders, miracles, and abiding glory is going to come. The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead shall be raised. I hear weeping and travail and loud cries unto God. There is great sorrow and great travail and great mourning throughout the land. I hear the cries of the saints praying. They are weeping, saying, have mercy, O God, have mercy on us. Heal our nation. There's coming a cry where people are going to cry out for the healing of the nation of the United States. I see a hunger and a thirst in the hearts of God's people. I hear them praying, do it again, God. Do it again, just like on the day of Pentecost, just like in the book of Acts. Then will I hear your cries for mercy, and I will pour out my spirit like this earth has never known. Then shall the fires of my Holy Spirit burn in Kansas City and burn across the world, and no man shall be able to stop what I have started, says God. So I thought I'd just read those prophecies that God gave me back in 2021 to share with the United States. It's going to get very dark, but the light will come. It's going to get very dark first, but then the true, authentic church will arise. So these are the promises that God has made for the United States, that great, great revival will come to the United States. Shalom, blessings. Have a glorious day.